Shawn Betz was just 11 years old when he disappeared in Upland, California back in 1988. That day, he had spent hours at the Pizza Chalet on Foothill Boulevard, hanging out with the owner's son, playing video games or arcade games, whatever you want to call them. Around 9 p.m., he left to walk home alone, or at least so the Pizza Chalet owners say. But years later, a witness did come forward claiming that she saw Shawn walking with an unidentified adolescent male. Shawn's parents waited up all night, but he never arrived home. His favorite blanket, backpack, and clothes were all still at home. Nothing packed, nothing taken. Look, even an 11-year-old knows to bring something if they plan to run away. Yet, the police immediately labeled him as a runaway. That label had devastating consequences. Because of that designation, the police showed, basically no urgency in investigating. They did not launch a full search or issue any sort of widespread alert. No local news covered the case beyond, maybe a small little blurb here and there. For 4 long months, there was almost no official action. Meanwhile, coming up on 4 months, Shawn's older brother became a target. Police, convinced that they had to find a culprit, they pressured him relentlessly for a confession. But his alibi was rock solid. They questioned him aggressively. They bullied him. The detective in charge literally refused to entertain any other theories or suspects. Years later, that detective was demoted, but the damage done to the family's reputation and mental health was done. The local community's response was also pretty complicated. Some suspected the Pizza Chalet family, whose son was Shawn's last known companion. There was really no evidence other than that implicating them, though. It is believed that they left town shortly after, near that 4 months, due to harassment, racial tensions. They were immigrants, documents unclear, in a largely white, conservative area. Other people noted this hotel across the street from the Pizza Chalet that was known for, shady characters, aka hotel. Who knows, but some people wondered might have that been involved. Adding to the mystery is a chilling story from a man who, after Shawn vanished, was smoking out behind the Pizza Chalet, and an older kid approached him and asked him to go to San Diego and to bring a foam rubber pillow. He doesn't know, but that memory was weird to him to this day. Throughout this time, it is known that the day after he went missing, a woman called his school claiming to be his grandmother and saying that he was going to live with her in Washington State. But his grandmother didn't call and she hadn't lived there in years. So why would the captor or someone involved make that call? Was it an attempt to mislead, some sort of desperate message from Shawn himself in a brief moment he had? I don't know, but the police failed Shawn and his family. They waited months to seriously investigate, allowed a false confession to be coerced from an innocent child in the family, and then dismissed critical leads that could have been something. The community was left with unanswered questions, and the media lost what little interest they did have because of the runaway label. Even today, Shawn's family holds on to hope. There are some experts that say he could theoretically still be alive and unable or unwilling to contact them. His disappearance remains a painful reminder of how a lack of urgency, poor policing, and systemic neglect, really, can turn a missing child case cold and leave a family shattered. This isn't just a story about a lost boy, it's about how justice can ultimately fail, and how assumptions can really blind us. And why we really can't forget cases like this, because this is our history. Just let that sink in. These cases are what led up to how we treat runaways today. This shit is important.